Noble Mother. Part 1. Once upon a time, there was a couple who loved each other. The man came from a rich family, and he is a respected person in the city. While the woman is an orphan, live in poverty, but beautiful, gentle, and kind. This advantage is, make the man fall in love. The woman is pregnant out of wedlock. The man then asked her to marry him, by bringing the woman to his house. As they had expected, the man's parents didn't like the woman. As a person who, prominent in the city, that woman's background would damage the reputation of the family. On the contrary, they have even found a mate appropriate for his son. The man is trying convince his parents that he has decided his decision, whatever the risk to him. The woman feels helpless, but the man convinced the woman that nothing can separate them. The man kept arguing with his parents, even refute her parents' words, something that hasn't been he had done in his life. In ancient times, generally a child is very submissive to his parents. A month has passed. The man failed to persuade his parents to accept his future wife. The old man, also stressed because he failed to persuade his only child to part with that woman, who according to them, will be very detrimental to the future. The man finally made the choice to elope. He decided to leave everything for the sake of his lover. The departure time was set, but apparently, this plan was known by the man's parents. So when the time comes, the old man locks up. The child is in the room and is closely guarded by his subordinates in his big house. Instead, the two parents came to the place that had been determined by the lovers to run away. The woman was very surprised by the arrival of father and mother, the man. They then asked for understanding from the woman to leave their only child. According to them, with the difference in social status that very big, their marriage will only be the gossip of the entire town. His son's reputation will be polluted. People will no longer respect it. As a result, the business that will be passed on to the children, they will go bankrupt slowly. They even gave large sums of money, with a request that the woman leave this city, not seeing her son again, and abort the pregnancy. The money can use to finance his life elsewhere. The woman wept bitterly. In her little heart, he realized that the difference in social status was very far, would cause a lot of trouble for her lover. In the end, he agreed to leave this town, but refused to accept the money. She loves the man, not the money. Even though he is fully aware, his way of life, the future will be very difficult. The man's mother again begged the woman to, left them a letter, stating that she chose to part with the man. The man's mother is worried that her son will continue to look for his lover, and did not want to continue the business of his parents. Even though he later, not your husband, don't you want to see him as someone successful? This is for the good of both of you, said the mother. With a heavy heart, the woman wrote a letter. He explained that she had decided to leave the man. He is aware that her existence would only harm the man. He apologized for breaking their promise of loyalty, that they will always be together in the face of rejection, due to differences in their social status. He can't stand it anymore, suffering, and decided to separate. The woman's tears seemed to wet the letter. The poor woman seemed to have no other choice. He is caught between his morals and love. The woman has leave the town, alone. He headed for a more remote village. There, she was determined to give birth and raise her child. 3 years have passed. It turned out that the woman had become a mother. Her son is a boy. The mother works hard, day and night, to support their living. In the morning and afternoon, he works in a home industry. That night, she washes the neighbors' clothes and embroiders, according to customer orders. Mostly he does all this work while carrying the child on his back. Although he was quite educated, he realized that other work is not possible because he has to be by her child's side at all times. But the mother never complained about his job. At the age of 3, one day, the child suddenly became seriously ill. The fever is very high. He was immediately taken to the hospital, local. The child must stay in the hospital for a few days. Medical expenses have drained all savings from the results of his hard work so far, and even that is not enough. The mother finally borrowed here and there, to anyone who is generous enough to lend. When allowed to go home, the doctor advised to making potion soup to speed up healing his son. The ingredients consist of herbal medicines and beef to steam together. But the mother can only afford these herbal medicines. He didn't have any more money to buy meat. To borrow again, it seemed impossible, because he had owed to everyone he knew, and had not yet been paid. When at home, the mother cries. He does not know what to do to get meat. The butcher shop in the village has refused his request to pay at the end of the month on payday. Between sobs, he suddenly had an idea. He is looking for alcohol in his house, a kitchen knife, and a piece of cloth. After cleaning the kitchen knife with alcohol, the mother was determined to take a piece of meat from her thigh. In order not to wake his sleeping child, he tied up mouth with a piece of cloth. Blood splattered. The mother was struggling to take his own flesh, while trying, didn't make a sound of extreme pain. Heavy rain fell. Heavy rain causes moaning. The pain of the mother is not heard by the neighbors, especially by his own son. It seems that the sky is also touched with sacrifice. What the mother is doing